And first of all, I would like to thank the director, Dr. MP Singh, for giving me an opportunity to speak on Teak. And since I am very nearby in Mysore, when he asked, I thought, okay, I will come over here and interact and meet my old friends also. So this is utilization of genetic resources of teak in India for higher productivity and increased farm income. So why teak? Teak because India has got the largest genetic diversity. The second thing is everybody in India, they want teak for their house construction, for furniture. Third one is our farmers are interested in teak. So we have largest genetic diversity and our farmers are interested in growing teak and we want teak for our houses, but we import teak. So it is something you have got such a gold mine with you, but you are getting something like a copper from outside. So that is why I thought we'll talk on teak one. Second thing is I am from the Institute of Forest Genetics and Tree Breeding, where we did a lot of work on tree improvement, particularly on exotic species like cashews and acacias. And always there used to be a comment that you are not working on indigenous species. So in the last 1 decade, we started working seriously on indigenous species. We did very good work on Ailanthus, Milia dubia, and also on teak. So the work which you have done on teak in IFGTB Coimbatore and some other experiences I'll be sharing with the forum here. So teak, my part is like this. One is in the colonial period, what happened to the teak and how they have handled. Like Shetapanavar said that the British knew the importance of teak because earlier they were using the oak trees for shipbuilding, which was taking about 300 years rotation age. Whereas here teak is about 80 to 100 years age, you can rotation age, you can use it for shipbuilding. So that's why they showed a lot of interest on growing of the teak. So that is why they created the first ever plantation, artificial plantation in the world in India. And also they have developed, there is a lot of literature in 1930s, lot of literature, volumes of information is available on teak. The second one is teak at global level. Now the teak has moved out of India. It is there in African continent, it is there in Central America, South America. In fact, we are importing teak from there. Now it is being grown in Australia, China, and more than 70 countries. It is being grown. And there's a lot of technological advancement and private initiatives. Private people are investing in teak plantations. When private people are investing in teak plantation, they are not interested in 60 years or 80 years of harvest age. They are interested in harvesting in 15 to 20 years. So it has been proved that it is possible that you can harvest teak plantation in 20 years, provided there are two things. One is you use the right type of genetic material. And second one is you follow proper silvicultural practices. And that is the technological advancements we have made. And I feel that post-independence, we have not done enough justice for teak. This is my personal feeling. So like director said that we are importing a lot of teak. So teak worth about 4,000 crore rupees of timber every year we are importing from the countries where teak is not native, where teak has been introduced from India. So these are the different countries from more than 30, 40 countries we are importing. And India is the second largest next to China of importer of teak. So it is a very good timber species, all of you know that. And globally, there are about 5.82 million hectares of teak plantation. In India alone, it is about 1.5 million hectares. We are also going to see the data on how the teak plantations are growing outside India also. So you can see that teak is there in the India, Burma, and the part of Thailand, and Laos. And it is introduced in Indonesia about 300 years back. Now, if you see teak here in India, it is quite unique. You have got teak in Western Ghat, that is the wet teak. You have got teak in Central India, that is the dry teak. Then we have teak in the Eastern India. Now we say that, if you see that the literature, it says that there is a reports, teak germination varies from as low as 20% to 80%. If you see the higher germination percentage of teak, it is mostly from the Western Ghats. The lower germination percentage, 10 to 15, 20%, is from the Central India. That means the genotypes of Central India, they are entirely different. The unfortunate thing is we have not developed any system for growing the dry teak outside its range. Our farmers want to grow teak, but we have not tried this material in the farmer's field. So you can see that what is marked with the green, that is in India, Burma, and those things, that is the natural range. Subsequently, it has been planted. You can see the whole of tropical belt. It is being planted. And so this is Connolly's plot established in 1846. That is during the British regime, the first ever artificial plantation which has been raised. Still these trees are standing there. And likewise, we have got a Baudillon's plot. He is the person who has developed the first time the stump planting technique. Then there is a standing Kannimara teak, that is the largest living standing teak tree in the whole world. That's what they say. And we are also seeing that you can see that one old stump which has been removed. That is also as big as the Kannimara teak. So that way we say that this teak was removed for, one is shipbuilding, for railway sleepers, and for the building in the castles and palaces, the palaces of UK. If you want the best, you want to see the best teak, you will see the best teak in those palaces and castles of UK. Because they have taken. So I was telling that a lot of work they have done. So this is, if you see, that is Griffith's work, 1930s. So this is a lot of information. Teak plantation technique. Then there's note on relative strength of natural and plantation grown teak in Burma. Very good publications. A lot of information is available. If you see that, that itself will run into about 600 pages. Different people have written that time. And you will also find a quite good information on the silviculture of Indian trees by True. Now I said we should use the right type of material, good genetic material. So it is something like in India, the Teak Tree Improvement Program started in 1970s. After the visit of J.T. Matthews, Dr. Kedarnath initiated in 1972-74 onwards. So that is about 250 plus trees of teak they have identified. About 5,000 hectares of seed production areas they identified. About 1,000 hectares of clonal seed orchards were established. And these were established, but what happened to these things? What happened to this seed orchard? What happened to these seed production areas? Whether the seeds are being collected is a big question. So are we utilizing these services, these resources? The answer is maybe leaving few states, we are not utilizing. We have got seed production areas. In Karnataka, we have got large seed production areas, large clonal seed orchards, but they are not being properly maintained. Maybe the state like Chandrapur and Kerala, they may be collecting some amount of seeds. So here, we say that we have to supply the quality seeds. Already the sources have been created. 1972-74, they created. And in 1978, they introduced a seed certification scheme. But when they introduced the 1978 seed certification scheme, to certify, what do you want to certify? You want to certify the good material. That time the good material was not available because it was created only 72-74. In 4 years, we cannot have the seeds. Whereas now it is available. They are producing the seeds. But we have forgotten. Many forest departments, they do not know where these seed production areas, seed orchards are there. So as a result, the work which has been done with a lot of spending a lot of money, time, effort has gone into oblivion. So this is the teak prestige. You can see that that is the prestige number 7 in top slip, and that's in Tamil Nadu Forest Department, TNT 7. And how to select the trees, I am not going into those details because so many other things. This is one of the seed orchards of teak established by IFGDB in 1974. Earlier it was Forest Research Center. And we are maintaining it. We are collecting small quantity seeds. And there is seed orchard of teak in Karnataka. So we have seen in near Shivamogga and near Ponnampet. So you have got a seed orchard. Titimati, Majigela. About 20 hectares, one plot, another one is 40 hectares. 60-hectare plot of teak seed orchard with about 24 to 44 different clones which has been assembled. But many people do not know where is this orchard. So I am also teaching there in Ponnampet College of Forestry. I take students there and try to revive these seed orchards. So this is a seed orchard of teak at Sakrabai near Shivamogga. You cannot collect seeds because there is a lot of weed growth. So unless these things are maintained, it is very difficult to collect the seeds. So when you ask that, they say that from research, it has been handed over to territorial department. So unless it is handed over back to the research wing, it is difficult to maintain. Not only that, so when you are establishing the seed orchard, they created teak multiplication gardens. You can see here, this is one of the multiplication garden in Sakrabail area. You can see that these stocks were maintained at this height. Since they are not maintained subsequently, they have become trees. Otherwise, at this height, you maintain it, you produce a lot of shoots, you take those cuttings and root them or use it for grafting. So this is one of the seed production area which we have established under World Bank project in Kerala, Cherupula, 1972 plantation, converted into a seed production area. So this is another seed production area in Tamil Nadu, which we have established by thinning the inferior trees. And there is a special varieties of teak which is available, like Central Indian teak, I said. In Karnataka, we have got a variety which is known as Teli variety in North Kannada district. It is also their plantation is there in Shivamogga. Why they call it is Teli variety? Because it has got a very, very high oil content. The color of the wood is very dark. When you cut this wood, you have to change the blade for every log because it has got so much of oil. And you can see the form of the trees. Very good, very straight, and very good quality timber. So teak was there. I started as private initiatives in India in 1984. This is the paper cuttings by Sterling Tree Magnum, Roots India, Sangui Plantation. At least about 12 companies, they started, floated teak bonds. That means you invest 1,000 rupees today, after 20 years, you are going to get about 60,000 rupees because you will get about 20 cubic feet of wood. 3,000 at the rate of 3,000 rupees per cubic feet. For 20 cubic feet, you will get about 60,000 rupees. This is the promise. So that time they were totally failure. Anubhav Tea Plantation, he is in jail. Because one is they were not knowing how to grow the teak. Second thing is it was a wrong material. Third one is it is in a wrong location. So that is why it was a failure. Whereas I will show you subsequently what is happening in Central America and Africa. They have become highly successful. So this is what they say that the amount about mobilized about 100 billion rupees to 200 billion rupees from 2.7 to 15 million investors. That is the type of money which is there in teak. So there's a lot of money in teak and sandal. These are the two crops. So they have got a lot of money. And what we have done in IFGTB Coimbatore was two strategies we follow. One is you go to the plantation where felling operation is going on, select the best trees. And when the felling operation is, otherwise, they will not permit you to cut. So when the felling operation is going on, we used to go to the plantation, select the best trees, mark them. They fell the trees. Then after 6 months, they produce the copy shoots. We collect the copy shoots. And we use them for clonal propagation. That is one route we follow. The other route we followed was the second one, from the seed production areas where there are very good trees are there, you select the outstanding individuals, collect the seeds, then raise the seedlings, evaluate them, and take them for a clonal propagation. So these are the two strategies we followed in IGTB. And for seeds, we collected from about 6 seed production areas, about 193 seed lots. So this is how we selected the trees and collected the seeds. I mean, selected trees and collected the seeds.